Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie, and it is cold as hell in Texas right now. So I am gonna beanie it up as we go into our final week of Ahimsa. Well, hopefully not actually for real, but for our topic or our theme of our practice, which is non-harming or kindness, particularly in our practice when it comes to moving with kindness. So no props needed today unless you like to have any that make you feel comfortable. I always like to have my blocks, so I've got them there. So let's start out however you want to. Seated, child's pose, reclined, whatever makes most sense to you. And we got Lionel here wearing his love sweater, so you know he's spreading the kindness. And as you settle into your space, go ahead and close your eyes as you start to tap into your Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, letting go of any thoughts or worries so that you can focus on this breath. Our Ujjayi breath is an audible breath. So you're gonna hear a snoring like sound in the back of the throat, kind of like you're fogging up a mirror with your nose. And see if you can create a rhythm where you inhale to the count of 3, 4, 5, 6, exhaling the same, or maybe making that exhalation a little bit longer, depending on how your breath is flowing today. And while you are doing so, we are talking about Ahimsa, which is the first of the yamas. The yamas are the first of the 8 limbs of yoga. And the yamas are how we show up in the world. How we also treat ourselves as how we show up in the world, which is why Ahimsa is so important to start with kindness to ourselves and then spread it out to others. The area of Ahimsa that we're focusing on is compassion towards our bodies. So stop being a jerk to yourself. Listen to your body. Be nice to your body. Words matter. So the way that we talk to ourselves matters. And the more that we talk to ourselves in a kind way, the more we talk to others in a kind way. And I think that this world can definitely use some more kindness. So it starts with you. How can you start by being kind to yourself, acknowledging all the things that your body does for you, because it's pretty amazing. And just letting that sink in for a moment, just how grateful you are for this body that you are living in and what it does for you and allows you to do this practice. On our next inhale, let's find a nice full body stretch or find some movement just depending on where you started your practice today. And just kind of see what's going on in your body, what's showing up. And just allow that to be a reminder and be kind to it. From a reclined space or an upright seated position, we'll all bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali Mudra, as we set our intention for our practice. And I hope that you set this intention of moving with kindness and compassion towards your body. All right, we're gonna meet in down dog because I'm cold. So make your way there. And as you come into your down dog, check in with your breath. So maybe you warm up by bicycling the legs, maybe you bend the knees as you move those hips from side to side, just kind of seeing how your body is feeling today. Yeah, then as we inhale, let's shift it forward into our plank pose, nice and strong. And then we'll exhale, pushing it back into our down dog. Let's do that a couple of times. So we'll inhale, shifting forward, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. This time we'll inhale, shifting forward, plank pose. And as we exhale, we slowly lower all the way onto our bellies. Tops of the feet come to the mat as we bring our hands underneath our shoulders, lifting up into our Cobra pose and then lowering. And move through this a few times with the pace of your breath. So I like to come onto my fingertips in a wide stance and then bring in these shoulder dips. If you dig that, go ahead and do it. If you dig something else, do that. But just move with your breath. That's what's most important. Nice. Next time that you lower, go ahead and make your way back into your down dog. And we'll lift up the right leg. We're going to open up that hip, heel to behind, move up towards the ceiling. And we stay, or we can make some circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, straighten that leg. And then we're going to kick towards the left, doing this little ninja kick move. So you can bring your left hand towards your chest as you kick it. And just get used to that for a few times. So from that one-legged down dog, we kick. Nice. Once you feel like that's pretty clear, I'm going to try to make it a little more complicated for you. We're taking this leg and we're swinging it to the other side for gate pose. So we'll lift up and bring that left arm overhead. So now let's bring it all together. So we kick it up, we kick to the side, and then we bring it to the other side as we come into our gate pose. One-legged down dog, ninja kick, and then bring it the other way, coming into gate pose, where we'll all meet. So we'll hang out in our gate pose, working the shoulders down as you reach up overhead. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, bring those hands down at the back of your mat for your runner's lunge. I love my blocks for runner's lunge, so I'm gonna just let them travel with me as we start to shift forward and back from runners to our pyramid-like pose, knowing that you can always have that back knee down. This heater's giving me life. It'll make me hot later, but it's giving me life right now. Next time we shift it forward, stay here, runner's twist. So left hand is down, right arm reaches up as we stack shoulder on top of shoulder. Really trying to reach up so you don't have all that weight into the left wrist. Inhale. And then as you exhale, gaze down. We're moving into our warrior two, facing the front. And maybe we could just kind of straighten and bend a few times here, getting used to this feeling. Yeah, and then we'll sit into it, big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down, and we're moving into a revolved half moon. Told you we're going to be traveling together, and we'll bring that block to the front as we come into it, leading with the crown of the head as we inhale, exhale, belly button to spine as we go deeper into our twist. One more breath in. And then on our exhale, bring that right knee behind, come onto your seat, and then sit back so that we can bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. So we're moving into a reverse table here. So we're lifting up those hips, but then we're drawing those knees forward. So you're gonna feel that in your thighs right there, your quads, and then we'll bring it back and then lower. So let's try that a few times. We shift, bring those knees forward, back, and lower. And if you're like me, you sit at a desk all day long, your quads are probably tight. My quads are so tight, it's annoying. We'll do that one more time. And then from here, we're going to lift up the right leg, we'll lift up those hips, and we'll create a figure four shape as we lift up more, maybe bring your gaze up or even dropping that head back. Inhale. As we exhale, lower the seat, and then bring those legs over to the side of your mat. So facing right in front of you, that long edge of the mat for a twist. So we twist towards the front of the mat. So bring that right arm behind you, either hugging this knee in or using your elbow as leverage, drawing those shoulders down as we lengthen. Exhale, maybe going a little bit deeper into our twist. Full breath in. Exhale. And then we'll release to the back of the mat. Step that right foot forward as we move into our half moon. So I've got my trusty block here as I open it up. Inhale. As we exhale, big bend in the right knee, soft landing as we move all the way into warrior two legs, but we're taking it to the reverse. So we'll reach up and over here. Breathing into that side. Full breath in. And then on the exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Option to take a vinyasa here, or you could go right to your down dog. And then from that down dog, lift up the left leg. Open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. We stay or we make those circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, we straighten that leg. As we exhale, we kick towards the right. So it's the same direction as before because we're facing the other way for this little ninja kick. And then we bring it back. So we'll play with that a few times. and then we're swinging it over to the other side. And I'm kicking my book around as we come into gate. So now we put it all together. So bring those hands down. Left leg lifts. We kick towards the side. And then we bring it around all the way into gate. So I'm coming off my mat a little bit here. It's all good. Yep, so left leg lifts. We kick to the side. And then we swing it all the way around. Nice, so we'll stay here this time in our gate pose. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, go towards the front of your mat for that runner's lunge. So I'll bring my blocks to where they're here. Look, all of my stuff is all together. And we shift forward and back in this space from our runners to our pyramid-like pose. Just noticing how one side is often different than the other side. It's totally cool. Yeah, next time we shift it forward, coming into our runner's twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up. Really working that energy upward. Inhale. Exhale, gaze down. Coming into warrior two to the back. And I know where I'm going now, so I'm going to bring that block there. And we can come in and out of this warrior two, just warming up in this space. Holding it here as we take a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel it down as we move into our revolved half moon. So we'll twist towards the right side here. Big breath in. Exhale, bring that leg behind, come all the way onto your seat, and then we bring those soles of the feet onto the mat as we set up for our reverse table. So we lift up those hips. We bring those knees forward, and then we lower. So just move through a few of these again. Yeah, and the next time you lower, lift up the left leg, lift up those hips, bring it into that figure four shape. Find your version. Inhale. And then as we exhale, lower that seat. Let the legs fall over towards the right, so that side of the mat. And then we twist to the back of our mats. So shoulders are down as we lengthen through the crown of the head. Big breath here. Exhale. And then we'll face the front. Left foot comes forward as we move into our half moon. So we open it up into the space. Inhale. On our exhale, big bend in that knee, soft landing, all the way to our reverse warrior. So we reach that arm overhead, keeping that forward knee nice and bent as you breathe into the side body. Inhale. And then on our exhale, cartwheel it down, making your way to your down dog. And we'll take a full breath in here. Exhale. Bend the knees, we gaze forward as we step or float to the front. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse. We'll reach it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Moving through some sun A's. So plant the hands as you step or float it back. Option to take this vinyasa, or you can always go from plank pose to your down dog. Big breath in. Exhale. Softening those knees, we gaze forward as we step or float. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, forward. Let's reverse. We'll reach it up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands as you make your way to your down dog. Big breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, gazing forward as we step or float. Inhale. Exhale. One more of these. Let's reverse. Reach it up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we step or float it. Moving through this vinyasa or going right to down dog or any resting position of choice. How we doing? That's our warm-up. So feel really good about it. Hopefully you're feeling warm about it. But a great time to check in with your breath, get a drink of water, whatever you need before we start to move into our main sequences of the practice. So if you're new to my practice, you know that a lot of what we just did in the warm-up is going to show up in the two main sequences, which I call peanut butter and jelly. So they both have the same way we go about it. So we go through each of them 3 times. First time is a little bit slower, and then we speed it up towards more of a breath pace. Also, if there's detours, we'll add them in the first one. And then we bring the two together at the end. So you'll hit a delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is my favorite part of the practice. And yours too, because it's the end. But let's see. We're going to start out in down dog. So when you're ready now, go there. And we are moving with kindness, and we have compassion towards our body as we come into this shape. Let's let that ahimsa roll. So we'll inhale, reaching that right leg up. As we exhale, we kick that ninja kick to the side. So just like we started before. And then we bring it to the other side as we come into our gate pose. Full breath in. Exhale, gaze towards the back of your mat, coming into your runner's lunge, where we'll find our runner's twist. Also have an option if you wanted to come into horizon lunge or a side plank. Those are all great options. So just listen to what your body prefers today. And maybe it changes up since we get to do this 3 more times, right? So if you took a detour, bring that right foot forward. And then we're moving into our warrior 2 to the front. Maybe palms face up to relax those shoulders, taking a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down for that revolved half moon. And if you think revolved half moon kind of sucks, because it kind of sucks, maybe you bend that leg and you reach for the foot, and maybe even play with your revolved dancer's pose. So you can keep pushing into the hand with that foot to create more of a back bend here if that works for you in your practice. Totally optional if you like revolved half moon. Who am I to say it sucks then, right? It's all for you. Take a big breath here. And then we're moving into our figure 4 chair. So we'll bring that ankle above the knee as we sit back. So really draw that seat back. Your weight is in that heel. You could bring your arms out forward like you're driving a car, or you could have your hands to heart center, have your arms on your leg. Maybe you're feeling spicy and want to play with your flying pigeon. So trying to bring that leg into your armpits as much as possible. And then pushing into the mat so that you're not sinking forward. So you lean and push at the same time to lift up that foot. And remember, 1 second counts. And if you want to add on from there, you can always start to straighten that top leg. You're just pushing more and more into the floor when that happens. Or if you don't really feel like being that fancy, but you're feeling a little fancy, maybe you get into this and you just float it back. Which, trust me, after you've been holding that, floating back is a gift. And if you're just like, I don't want to do that at all, that is totally cool. A figure 4 chair is not an easy task, and it's a great hip opener. But that's what we've got for our peanut butter. So let's go ahead and move on to our second side. So from our down dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it over towards the right. And then we spin it around so that we come into our gate pose. Yeah. From our gate pose, we gaze towards the back as we move into our runner's lunge, where we have the option of our twist, we have our option of our horizon lunge, we have the option of our side plank. So you choose what feels best to you today. What feels valuable today? What feels like that's where your body needs to go today? If you took that detour, left foot comes back forward, and then we move into warrior 2 facing the front of the mat. Maybe palms face up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down for that revolved half moon, which we know can change into our revolved dancer's pose if we wanted to. Or we can just kick and reach for that foot. So totally up to you. Big breath here. Exhale, bring it into that figure 4 shape. And one side is not necessarily the same as the other side, but if you don't have anything going on that's really obviously different, like an injury, maybe you try to go to that same place for each side, keeping them as equal as possible. So that means I'm gonna go into flying pigeon. So I'm gonna take my leg into my armpits. I'm gonna play kind of teeter-tottering it a little bit. And if I'm feeling fancy, I'm floating it back to make my way to down dog. And we'll start to pick up the pace. So any of those extras, you can add them if you want. I will not be adding them. So from our down dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it over towards the left, and then we swing it through for our gate pose. Inhale. Exhale, gaze to the back of your mat, coming into your runner's twist. So left hand is down, right arm reaches up as you twist. And then we gaze down, coming into warrior 2, facing the front. Inhaling here. Exhale, cartwheel it down, moving into that revolved half moon. Inhale. As we exhale, gaze down, bringing that knee up as we move into our figure 4 chair. From that figure 4 chair, we step it back, moving through the vinyasa or going right to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it towards the right. And then we swing it over to the other side as we move into our gate pose. Inhaling here. Exhale, gaze to the back. Coming into our runner's lunge. Inhale, runner's twist. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, warrior 2 to the front. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Inhale, moving into that revolved half moon. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming into that figure 4 chair, sitting it back into that heel. Exhale, step it back. Option 2, vinyasa. All right, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it to the left. We swing it to the other side as we move into our gate pose. Big breath in. Exhale, gaze the back. Coming into our runner's lunge, we inhale to our twist. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, warrior 2 to the front. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Inhale, revolved half moon. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, figure 4 chair. Exhale, step it back, moving it through. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it to the side. Inhale, we swing it all the way around, all the way up. Exhale, gaze to the back. Inhale, runner's twist, left arm is up. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, warrior 2 to the front. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Inhale, revolved half moon. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, figure 4 chair. Exhale, take it through your vinyasa. All right, or go to down dog or any resting position of choice. How are we doing? Oh, my hair's hurting my eyelashes. Good. I'm doing good now. Yeah. Are we ready for some jelly? Are we ready for some jelly? Final's ready for some jelly. Yeah. Well, good news. We start out on our seat. So we can just start out here. And we're coming into those reverse tables where we send those knees forward. Let's move through that like 3 times, just kind of opening up in that area of the body. So we'll inhale, lifting up the seat, bring it all the way forward. Exhale, lower. Move through that. Number 2. And then number 3. And then right leg lifts as we lift up those hips, finding that figure 4 shape, maybe dropping the head back. Exhale, lowering our seat as we come to the side of our mat and we twist. Big breath in. Exhale. And then we face the back for a half moon, just like our warm-up. So Right foot steps forward. We're going to take that block as we open it up towards the left side. Inhale. Exhale, big bend in the knees, soft landing. We'll inhale all the way to our reverse warrior, breathing into that right side body. And then as we exhale, we straighten those legs. Those toes face the long edge of the mat as we move into our wide twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up. Shift that weight forward so you're not sitting back into the heels. Inhale. And then as we exhale, maybe a slight bend in the knees. We're taking this back leg or this right leg and we're bringing it all the way through onto our seat. So we set up for our reverse table. So that's our jelly. So inhale, lifting up those hips. Bring those knees forward. Exhale, lower. We lift forward and lower. One more. And lower. And then left leg lifts. We pick it up. Find that reverse table with that hip opening. And then we lower, bringing those legs to the side as we twist towards the front. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, going deeper into your twist. And then face the back, setting up for our half moon. So we can have our block there for our left hand as we open it up, flexing through that right foot. Inhale. Exhale, big bend in the knees, soft landing as we come into our reverse warrior, reaching all the way up and over. Full breath in. Exhale, we'll straighten those legs. Those toes face the long edge of the mat as we come into that wide twist. Left hand is down, right arm reaches up as we open it up towards the front. Inhale. Exhale. And then slight bend in the knees. We'll slide that left leg through as we come back onto our seat. And we'll start to pick up the pace on this. So we'll inhale, lifting up the hips, bringing those knees forward, and then lowering it back down. And then right leg lifts as we lift, bringing that ankle to meet the knee as we come into that reverse table. Inhale. Exhale, lower as we come over to the side of the mat. We twist towards the front. Inhale. Exhale. And then we go to the back for our half moon. So right hand is down as left arm and leg lift. Exhale, big bend in the knees, soft landing as we inhale, reverse. Exhale, we'll straighten those legs, toes face the long edge, right hand down, left arm reaches up as we twist. And then we exhale as we bring the legs all the way through, setting up for that reverse table again. So we inhale, lift, bring it forward, and lower. Left leg lifts, we bring that ankle as we lift. And then lower, bringing those legs over to the side. Twisting towards the front, full breath in. Exhale. And then facing the back, we open it up into our half moon. So right arm and leg lift as we open. Exhale, big bend in the knee. Inhale, we take it to our reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten. As we bring that left hand down, right arm up, we inhale into our twist. Exhale, bring the legs through. Nice. Inhale, lift up, knees draw forward, and then we come back down. And then right leg lifts as we come into that figure four reverse table, and then lower as we come to the side. Twisting towards the front, inhale, exhale. To the back, we inhale, opening it up into our half moon. Exhale, big bend in the knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, wide twist. Exhale, bring it through. Nice. We inhale, lift. Bring those knees forward and then lower. And then left leg lifts, finding that figure four. Lower as we bring it to the side. Twisting to the front, big breath in. Exhale, and to the back. Half moon as we inhale. Exhale, big bend in the knee. We inhale, reverse. Exhale, straighten as we find that wide twist. Left hand is down, right arm reaches up. And then we bring it all the way through to our seat. How you doing? That's our jelly. All right, get excited. Because that means we've made it to my favorite part of the practice. It's peanut butter and jelly time. So we bring these two together one last time. Meet you in down dog. As you come into down dog, we're moving with kindness and we're moving with compassion towards our body. So we got that ahimsa going on. Let's do this. So we'll inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, ninja kick over to the side. And then we swing it through. So we come into our gate pose, inhale. Exhale, gaze to the back. Runner's lunge till we inhale into our twist. Exhale, gaze it down. Inhale, coming into our warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel it down as we move into that revolved half moon. And then from here, we bring that knee up, going right into that figure four chair. Big breath in. Exhale, bring that leg behind, and we come onto our seat so that we can inhale our reverse table, bring those knees forward, and then lower. Right leg lifts as we lift, coming into our figure four reverse table, and then we lower, coming into the side. Twisting towards the front, big breath in. Exhale, and then face the back. We inhale into our half moon. Exhale, big bend. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, straighten. And then we inhale into our twist. And then as we exhale, we come onto our seat. And that means we've done the first side. Yay! So from here, we can roll, we can do whatever we want to get to our down dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, totally cool. But we've got one more side. So inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we kick it towards the right. We swing it all the way to the other side as we inhale into our gate. Exhale, gaze to the back. Inhale, runner's twist, left arm reaches up. Exhale, gaze down and ground down so that we inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel it down as we inhale into our reverse. Inhale, moving into that figure four chair pose. Exhale, bring that knee behind and we come onto our seat and the feet come onto the mat. Inhale, reverse table, knees come forward, and then we lower that seat and then left leg lifts. Inhale, figure four reverse table. Exhale, lower as we come to the side of the mat. Inhale, we twist towards the front. Exhale, going a little bit deeper. And then we face the back, coming into our half moon. Inhale. Exhale, big bend in the knee. We inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten. Inhale into that wide twist. Exhale, bringing that leg through, which means you did it. Really nice work. So, find a seated pose. Slow down the breath. And as you slow down the breath, close your eyes and send love and kindness to each part of your body, which becomes even easier if you put a big smile on your face. Give yourself so much love for what you've just done, so much kindness for what you've just done, and let it all sink in by just being still. If your practice loves a Shavasana, this is a great time to come onto your back, maybe find some ending poses or give yourself a big body hug before coming into your final place of rest. If you prefer seated, there's not a bad option. But as you come into the space that you've chosen, have so much gratitude for showing up to your mat today, so much gratitude for the work you just put in, and so much gratitude for this feeling that you created. And be proud of yourself because you did so amazing. Know that I'm so proud of you for showing up to your mat, making this commitment to your mat, and also showing yourself so much ahimsa and kindness so that you can spread that throughout as you leave your mat today. And just allow your breath to be soft, your body still as you come into Shavasana. As always, stay here as long as you like. But if you're ready, you can start to open up the eyes and we'll bring our hands to heart center as we tuck our chin under. I want to thank you so much for joining me in this practice. Thank you so much for taking this time out for yourself. It's so important. And keep spreading kindness. Keep giving your body compassion so that you can send that throughout. Until next time, namaste.